Hey, Beyblade. Oh no. Hey, Beyblade, how's it going? There we go. Sorry, my computer's been kind of lagging lately. I need to clean up. All right. Oh, maybe no controller support. All right. All right, maybe no controller support. That's fine. So, yeah. So this is Sundown, the Vampire Survivor spin-off of Sunhaven, which is interesting that they give you two of the. I don't recognize the other two characters, but I recognize the first two, which is the Demon Prince and the leader of Sunhaven. And I'm going to try her out. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Oh, this is weird. This is weird as shit. Oh, kitten. Oh, change difficulty. Year 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's clever. Upgrade spells. All right. Wait, thunderstruck. Oh, chain lightning. Oh, that's cool. Big Buppy. Oh no. Upgrade your stats. All right. Can I? Okay, yeah. So there is no. There we go. Fishing speed. Oh, this is something weird. All right. Alright, let's try it out. Maybe. You alright, game? Come on. I'm gonna say be right back. I'm gonna see what's up with the game real quick. I also need to make sure I'm not like out of computer space. No, I have plenty of computer space. Yes, let's check my processing and shit. Yeah, sorry about this. It's really acting up. I don't know what's going on. Fuck it, let me restart it. I'm going to close tits. Maybe I don't know what's up with it, but okay, let's try this again. Yes, select and play. Yeah, that's choose your character. So yeah, so wait, what? I don't know. Oh, come on, man. Let's be right back. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna try another character, and maybe it's only that character is busted, and then if not, I don't know. I'll try something else, I guess. You know what? Settings. That should be fine. Start. Let's try the prince. Alright, well, shit. I guess the game's busted. Shit. Is there any other games I was thinking of playing on stream? Let's see. Alright, I was kind of planning that. Hold on, let me change my stuff. How are you? Alright. Oh, there I am. Game's loading. Well, I'm going to try the Infinite Mana demo because it looked really neat. Oh, come the fuck on, man. Then if this doesn't work, I don't know. Maybe I'll read something. I don't know. Come on. Shit. Like, what's the deal? I will try it again. Like, sorry, guys, but... Okay, it says it's running. I clicked it again and it said error, running. Here we go. Alright. Where? There we go. Alright, cool. Finally. Wanderlust game. I got to turn the volume down. Oh, that's running like garbage. Alright, hold on a minute. For some reason, I must be my... Yeah, it must be my computer. I don't know what's up. No. So, fuck it. Let me change this again. I'm going to read a fan fiction because I've been kind of wanting to read one anyway. I was going to do a whole big stream with a couple of them, but fuck it. It's not working. So okay, is fan. I don't know if reading, just reading? Fucking special events. Oh, you don't have to. Alright. Alright, special events. Let me get it up over here. How's it going, Flappy? You know what? Hold on. Let me post something real quick. You know what? Do me a favor and give me another. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to real quick do a. Hold on a sec. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm going to share that this is now less of an impromptu stream and more of a mini event, I guess. I don't know if that's loud and shit or not. Sorry. It's gonna be just a second. I think only Fappy's here, so it's not the biggest deal. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I don't know why my computer's being the stupid. Thank you. I've got me another cider. And then, let me close that. Good. Hold on a second. Almost ready. Did I spell my name right? Yes, I did. Cool. Bam. Bam. All right. I don't have any music or anything, but you know, it's fanfic reading. It's fine. Got the water. Got my second cider, which is tropical. It has hints. Is it hints of pineapple? Yeah, notes of pineapple. All right, so we have two. We have at least. I definitely want to read this one. Let me close that. If I have time, there's this one, Garfield Infinity Wars, which is Guardians of the Galaxy, and then the Joker Garfield one. Well, all right. Let me get comfortable. All Alright, let's get started. Garfield of the Galaxy, Infinity Wars, Chapter 1. Chris Pratt was flying through stretches of space with his Guardians of the Galaxy. They were escaping from sovereign peoples after causing mischief. They had Nebula for capture through circumstance. Nebula was chained to the wall with chains and stewing in brew of hate. Yippee-ki-yay! Wild and free! Wham, bam, shing-a-lang! Chris Pratt squealed with delight as he soared through cosmos. Slow down, human. Slow down, human man. You are reckless fool, said Nebula with hateful evil. Chill out, Chris Pratt squealed with irritation. Nebula, you are my sister, but you are rotten with defilement, said Gamora with sisterly shame. Silence you, I will kill Thanos, you green weakling traitor, said Nebula with bitterly bite. Oh, you women, quipped Rocket Raccoon with jolly laughter. Chris Pratt, please slow down. You are being a hardy fool, Drax said with concern. Call me Star-Lord, squealed Chris Pratt with defiance. Then, with suddenness, a ship appeared, and out of ship appeared figure. It was old, but magical. Greetings, Guardians of the Galaxy. It is I.
Hi, John. It's what I do.
Ego, said the figure with enigma. Ego? Like egg? Squealed Chris Pratt with quip. No, Chris Pratt. I have been looking galaxy over for you. And now I have found the answer to my being, said the mysterious old one with feeble elderly wisdom. Oh man, you will call me Star-Lord, squealed Chris Pratt like spoiled brat. Calm yourself, I have great secret to tell. I am your father, said figure with revelation. Daddy, squealed Chris Pratt with bliss. Meanwhile, while conversing was happening, Nebula unlocked herself from chains. What? Oh no. Damn, I lost my Swabby started cracking up and I lost it. Meanwhile, while conversing was happening, Nebula unlocked herself from chains. She snuck away with stealth, hiding in shadows of light. She then kicked open the escape hatch and jumped into space. No! Screamed Gamora with despair. That's right, sister. I will die in icy hell of space before being prisoner to you, Nebula said with vile. Shut up, I'm talking to my daddy, squealed Chris Pratt with weasel spite. Nebula floated through the frigid wasteland of space, disappearing like lice in forest of hair. She was a speck of nothing in cosmic debris. She felt cold death tickle her skin with fingers. She thought she would die heavy with burden of hate and never knowing true love of man. She fell into sleeping slumber, spiraling into dreams of woe and fury. In her dreams, Thanos was laughing like a madman, tormenting pain into the innocent. But then in her dreams, awesome figure of power, radiating with orange majesty, overwhelmed all. The searing flame of manhood incinerated Thanos with effortless ease, tearing off head with muscular, manly hands. He tossed Thanos' head into a black hole and spat on it. The figure, which was cat and man, then turned manly gaze and bore into her mind like fiery lances of lasagna. His eyes were blazing stars in galaxy of hope. Nebula felt sweat of fear and desire run down her face like a coat of slimy goo. Her lady gems exploded like meteor, hitting planet of dynamite. She woke trembling with awe. She did not know where she was. She was moving through space, seated on custom expensive leather seat. She looked around and she saw she was in red Corvette driving through space. At driver's wheel was the orange figure in her dreams, rippling with muscle and manhood. He tore aviator shades and smoked a lasagna cigarette. Wind blew through his hair with cool style as he chilled out to Tangerine Dream. Garfield? Cried out Nebula in shock. The manly figure of physical justice nodded mighty head. Where am I? Where are we going? Said Nebula with concern. You are in safety. I found you in deepness of space, floating like balloon in a bath, said Garfield with a masculine stoicism as he puffed a lasagna cigarette. I am taking you to my planet. But I have no time. I must kill Thanos, Nebula said with objection. Relax, ragamuffins. In my planet, you will find knowledge of pleasure. Sit back and let the man drive you to ecstasy, Garfield said to Nebula with universal truth. Garfield drove on through blackness, cutting through space like knife through liquid air. Her lights of red Corvette seared through darkness like torches of enlightenment. Nebula saw wonders of a universe like stars and planets. Then, over an horizon, she saw greatest wonder of all. It was a massive glowing orb the size of 3 suns. At closer coming, she saw it was a great mighty planet filled with fields of green and seas of red. What is this? Asked Nebula with bewilderment. I have searched universe for a planet to call home, but found none to match my majesty, so I have built planet with these 2 hands, Garfield said with truth. Hey, Lilac, how's it going? Garfield nosedived his red Corvette through atmosphere of planet. He soared over continents and oceans. He flew over continent bigger than Earth and Mars and filled with giant tree with red bark. On branches were cities filled with sexy ladies walking around and dining on fresh lasagna. That is tree of rebirthing. It is watered with blood of my enemies. Like my fists, it thirsts for evil blood. It will never be quenched, Garfield said with explaining. With death of evil, lovely ladies can frolic with joy and know pleasure of lasagna. Oh yeah, shit. The redeems, those redeems are down because my computer's being dumb. I forgot to turn them off. And hopefully that nosebleed fixes itself soon. Speaking of blood, that is magical, said Nebula with impressment. Garfield and Nebula then flew over a massive pyramid of skeletons. That is the Pyramid of Fools. I have built it from skeletons of boneheads who defy my justice. It is monument to ignorance. Only when Pyramid reaches past end of universe will all ignorance be destroyed, Garfield said with pride. The Great Pyramid shone in sunlight, beaming with glory. Garfield then flew past more red oceans which boiled with heat and steam. Sweet smell of beauty came from red-hot oceans. Then, over oceans, Garfield came to giant floating island the size of 20 Earths. On floating island was city full of lights and skyscrapers. At city center was mighty palace that shone like light bulb on 4th of July. What amazement, said Nebula with astonishing. It is my summer castle. Come and see, Garfield said as he flew down into castle. In Castle Island, thousands upon millions of spaceships soared from outer space and landed in docks. Out of spaceships, sexy ladies came out with disembarking, giggling with joy and excitement. Oh, that was weird. Why are these ladies here on spaceships? Nebula asked with wondering. Ladies from all over universe come to meet supernova of sexy and the Big Bang of good times, Garfield said as he pointed to his pants. Nebula nodded with understanding as her mind unraveled secret that lay wrapped behind Garfield's man pants. As her mind wandered, her mouth watered. Garfield landed ship at Castle Courtyard. In Courtyard, there was giant hedges shaped like sexy ladies in naughty poses. Naked ladies lounged by shrubs, eating lasagna and dressed in bikinis. The road was paved with golden steel. As they walked, they passed large luxury pools shaped like a woman's navel. In pool, ladies lay on floats shaped like Garfield. They massaged floats with wanting hands, wishing the man was there for real. As Garfield passed, all the sexy ladies cooed longingly for him, but the man walked by without beating a sweat. Garfield and Nebula then passed through great golden doors the size of skyscrapers. Garfield pushed them open like giant pushing feathers. Inside the great hall filled with giant stone statues of naked ladies. On walls hung oil paintings of Garfield loving hot ladies from all of history. In one painting, Cleopatra and Catherine the Great were lying on bed of silky sin as Garfield jolted their lady sockets with man lightning. Okay. Well, hopefully the nosebleed stops soon. That is realism, Garfield said with art as he pointed to paintings. Throughout hall, fine ladies ate lasagna and drank cocktails at glass tables. They wore shimmering space dresses that were see-through. As Garfield passed them, they reached longingly for him, but he did not glance a look. Garfield passed Bar and motioned to Bartender Ted with cool point. Bartender Ted gave him the finger guns and flew lasagna scotch to Garfield, who caught it like home run goalie. Garfield sipped drink like a cool cat in Chilltown. More ladies flocked to him, wanting sniff of his scent and touch of his muscles, but he did not wink a care. Garfield flicked Lasagna Cigarette to ground and walked on. Mobs of ladies rushed to Lasagna Cigarette, clawing and fighting for its radiance, wanting to get taste of the cosmic force of man. Whew. Nebula followed Garfield out of room through doors which were color of night. On other side there was darkness with flashes of strobe lights. Fantasy by Aldo Nova played as ladies in tight black leather danced under spotlights and rubbed themselves with wet lasagna. Ooh. This is Temple of Forbidden Pleasure. In it, fantasy becomes reality, Garfield explained with guru words. A foxy mama in pool of lasagna was dancing and wiggling. She saw Garfield and took handful of steaming lasagna, fresh as spring, and smeared it on firm breasts while licking lips like hungry she-panther. Garfield nodded with approving. You must be familiar with forbidden body pleasures, Garfield said to Nebula as they passed under hanging cage with lady, dancing and whirling hair and licking lasagna-covered bars. I do not know these things. I have been captured by Thanos all my life. All I know is scent of battle and taste of murder, Nebula said with sadness. Taste of murder is rich, but like lasagna, it must be chewed with virtue. Killing of evil is righteous, but death of innocence is vile, like flies making love on rotting meat, Garfield said with the learning of lifetimes. Nebula followed Garfield through Temple of Forbidden Pleasure, seeing sights unseen and thoughts unknown. Excuse me. Her mind and heart were filled with mysteries. Garfield pointed to sexy, six-armed, eight-legged alien babe. She wore a black leather bodysuit and held paddles in all hands. With paddles, she spanked naked ladies who laid on beds and screamed in ecstasy, enjoying their spanking pleasure. Garfield gave her thumbs up. Garfield and Nebula passed through Iron Gate and entered the Snap Room, where rhythm was always a dancer. Hot ladies in bodysuits danced their beats to rhythm as music poured in from boomboxes. They passed through Room of Cool Tunes and Hot Beats and entered doorway. On other side, there was crystal stairway of spiraling. They climbed stairs to pinnacle of heights, reaching Garfield's throne room. Garfield's throne room was filled with glorying might. Light of suns poured through stained glass windows of sexy ladies in lasagna. Flags with coat of arms and of fist-clenching lasagna threw in breezy wind. Suits of armor with shields of lasagna emblems stood proud. Garfield sat on his throne with the majesty of real man and snapped with style. At snapping, servant dressed like sexy French maid came with lemonade. Please enjoy relaxation, Garfield said with calmness. I'm sorry, Garfield. I cannot stay. I must go hunt Thanos, Nebula said with regret. Thanos is oversized baby, too big for his diaper. He tries to put on big boy pants, but they fall off in mockery, Garfield said with dismissal. You are wisdom, Nebula said with enlightenment. A servant then appeared with suddenness. She approached and knelt with respectfulness and spoke. I'm sorry to be interrupting you, Garfield, but we have a visitor. It is Thor. He has come from Asgard to challenge your manliness, servant said with respectfulness. What's tomfoolery? Garfield bombasted with appall. It is true. He will not leave until he has faced you in battles and taken title of Ultimate Man, the servant said with apologies. So be it. We will meet in Colosseum of Burning Fury. It is needing coat of paint and Asgardian blood is perfect color, Garfield said with judgment. Garfield went into back chambers to prepare for execution of the fool. Nebula followed servant to Colosseum of Burning Fury, where crowds sat in seats waiting for top-notch show. They cheered, Garfield, Garfield, waiting with anticipation for the hero to arrive. Then with suddenness, doors in front opened and Thor entered fighting arena. Crowd booed him and threw tomatoes and bananas as he sulked with frowning. Oh, why do you boo me? I am Thor, great and mighty hero, sobbed Thor with sorrowful tears. Great golden gates then opened with a booming. Out rode Garfield on custom Harley Davidson motorcycle. He wore cool leather jacket and jeans with boots of stepping. His Harley revved like bull in heat as he rode into arena. Crowds screamed in cheering joy, and ladies threw flowers and underwear at the man. Garfield stopped in middle of arena and got off Harley to face the weakling. You are newborn toddler who sucks his thumb and dreams it is gold, said Garfield to Thor with contempt. Silence, Garfield. My father Odin sent me to find a real man and challenge to cosmic battle. Only then will I prove worth, Thor yelled with defiance. Your father sent you on errand to hell. You beg death to dance and spit in fate's face, but I will give you greatest gift warrior can give to other, a gilded chariot to the hall of the dead, said Garfield with stoic wisdom. Enough! Feel wrath of my new Mjolnir! Thor screamed as he took out mighty hammer. Thor tossed Mjolnir with great whooshing at Garfield, making it soar like prancing antelope in savannah, but Garfield did not flinch a wink. He caught hammer with powerful grip and stared at it with eyes. What? Only worthy can wield Mjolnir, cried out Thor in despair rage. Garfield scoffed with laughing as he raised hammer like featherweight pillow and then tossed it in air with a meteor power. He then took out his Desert Eagle and aimed at Mjolnir. Here is your worthiness, Garfield said with ice-cold style as he shot Mjolnir with a Desert Eagle, making it shatter like explosion of rainbow diamonds. No, how can this be? Cried out Thor like milkman crying over a cracked egg. Your toy hammer is crutch for your spineless body. Without it, you quiver like jellyfish in autumn breeze, Garfield said with solemn teaching. Garfield then approached Thor with swagger of majestic masculinity. Every step quaked with rumbles and stars and galaxies. Distant exploded in awe. Thor looked up into Garfield's eyes, which were blazing infernos, and saw the coming and unbecoming of universes. Sweat like frozen daggers rained on face as he saw destiny of truth. He saw himself in Garfield's eyes, squealing in terror of cosmos. He then saw himself rebirthed out womb, which was serpent's mouth, and blood gushed out like ketchup, but blood was not blood, but lasagna. So it is truth, Thor said with enlightenment. Tears filled with Thor's eyes like honeydew and poured like hot river of remorse. Garfield nodded a mighty head in silence. I know now. I am pathetic worm being baked in rays of manliness. Thor wept with distraught. Please, Garfield, end my being with your righteous fury. So be it. My steel palm will crush wisdom into your mind, Garfield said as he placed palm on Thor's tiny head. He gripped Thor's very small head effortlessly. His tadpole head was like grape overcoming sea of palm. Garfield crushed head like miniature watermelon, making shower of blood and brain spurt like shower mush. Eyes popped out like popcorn and pieces of skull exploded outward. In final moments, Thor felt wisdom and peace enter his mind. Garfield presented bloody wet hands, and handmaidens dressed in transparent silk robes came over with rushing and licked Garfield's palms with lustful thirst, cleaning his stone palms. Look up, pussycats. My hands are dirty with fool's blood, Garfield said with orders. Handmaidens licked his slimy tongues, oily and wet like pink eels. Their gooey tongues licked Garfield's hands until all were satisfied. When hands were clean, Garfield took Thor's headless body, which was bleeding red waterfalls, out of head stump. He motioned to handmaidens, who brought stone bowl carved like lasagna pan. He then poured Thor's blood inside. When bowl was full, Garfield spoke with commands to his handmaidens. Bake blood in oven of judgment, and then take to tree of rebirthing. Let it feed with nourishment on blood, Garfield declared with edicts. Then, out of suddenness, there was a spark of smoke. A figure appeared from wispy clouds of fog. It was Odin. Garfield, I see you have done the deed, Odin said with observation. It is sad, but my son was not real man. He had to fall by your hands. Garfield said nothing. Wordless silence came from his closed mouth. His eyes were stoic mountains. He then approached Odin with march, He stared into Odin's eyes, and Odin shook like a baby trapped in iceberg. Garfield then took out Lasagna cigarette and lit it with handgun lighter. He puffed Lasagna cigarette and blew smoke in Odin's face, who coughed like puppy with asthma. Garfield then took a cigarette from lips and put it out on Odin's bare arm. Odin screamed like seagull giving birth to ostrich, and in puff of smoke turned into Loki. Garfield, how'd you know it was me? Loki said with shock. Perfumed pig still smells like mud, Garfield said with steel rage. It is too late. Thor is dead. I have tricked you. I have won, squealed Loki like pot-bellied pig. Pathetic cockroach. My justice can never be tricked by swine. I kill who I want, and now I will be killing you, Garfield said with righteousness. Loki saw rage in Garfield's eyes and mouth and panicked. He fell on knees with despair. Garfield, please spare my life, Loki pleaded with begging. Relax. I am noble man. My fists spread peace, and now they will spread you into pieces, Garfield said with mercy. Garfield grabbed Loki by his hair, which was long like a little girl, and began dragging him on ground. Loki screamed and screeched like a guinea pig ready for the slaughter. Garfield then twirled Loki around his head like a cowboy cat twirling Wild West lasso. Yeehaw, ride 'em cowboy, Garfield joked with humor as he twirled Loki. Crowd pointed and laughed at Loki as he screamed like pathetic banshee while he was twirled like a pinwheel. When Garfield was tired of the game, he raised Loki to the sky. Time for my favorite show. Breaking Back. Timely joke, Garfield said with timely joke as he brought down Loki on his knee for backbreaker, snapping his spine. All in the Coliseum laughed with hilarity at Garfield's joke. Even Loki laughed with good humor as his spine was snapped like twig. When Garfield was done with comedy, he threw Loki to the ground. Loki now lay as center of arena, broken and shattered like expensive vase. Time to dispose of the trash, Garfield said with chillness. Garfield went to giant lever with grinning skull at the tip. He pulled down lever with ease of man who had pulled levers all his life. At lever pulling, the Coliseum floor opened down middle like a great yawning mouth. And in open pit was great black hole. Loki fell into pit and was sucked into spiraling chaos of black hole. Ah! Cried Loki as he fell into black hole. Relax, have a light, Garfield quipped with cleverness as he tossed a lasagna cigarette into black hole, exploding it into fiery supernova. Ah, no! Screamed Loki as his flesh and bones burned and melted into incineration from the supernova. Next time, wear sunscreen, Garfield joked with wit. After Garfield pulled lever back, closing door to supernova, Nebula ran out to arena for congratulations. Garfield, you are amazing, Nebula said with astonishment as she ran sexy finger along Garfield's massive bicep. It was nothing, puppy pants. I needed warm-up for main event. The next arena will be bedroom, and it will not be short bout but marathon, and I will go into overtime, Garfield said with wink. Oh, Garfield, I have never known taste of true man. Will you show me ways of romance? Nebula asked with yearning. You know it, Carrot Cake. I will pour Milky Way into your nebula, and you will enjoy every drop, Garfield said with flirtations. You know what to say to make lady feel special, Nebula said with swooning. Garfield led Nebula up crystal stairway that climbed tower pinnacle. They came to doors of diamond with carvings of ruby-eyed tigers clutching lasagna. Through diamond doors, they entered Garfield's master bedroom, which was... Through diamond doors, they entered Garfield's master bedroom, which was the size of basketball court and filled with marble statues of naked women. Fertility symbols hung on walls, and at back was massive bed shaped like male symbol. Mirror was on ceiling above bed. In center of room on floor was giant symbol of yin-yang, woven in area rug. Stay here, Garfield said with romance. Garfield led Nebula to yin-yang symbol and went upstairs into balcony room. Nebula waited with anticipation for her lady engine to get maximized. After waiting what seemed like forever, hours, Garfield appeared from balcony and walked down the stairway. He was dressed in black silk pants and black silk sleeveless shirt that clung to manly chest. He strode down like a mandrill on the prowl, eager for hot taste of sexy space woman. Can someone call Fire Marshal because you are lighting me up? Nebula said with arousal. You know it, Firefly. I am Will Stroke Flame of Sex in your oven. Garfield said with seduction. Explode my body with your man force, Nebula begged with swooning. Yes, but first thing is first. To dine on delicacy of loving, one must set table of mood, Garfield said with suaveness. He snapped fingers. Lights dimmed and Fascination Street by The Cure played from unseen speakers. Then, in mystery of magic, sexy naked women statues came to life and began approaching Nebula with smooth motions like fish swimming in silk, moving with a rhythm to the beat. Marble ladies fell upon Nebula with groping hands and licking tongues, pleasuring her body. Garfield lounged on black satin couch, crossing leg over knee like champ and smoking lasagna cigarette. Nebula moaned as marble minxes massaged her body with biting teeth and wrapped around her with legs. At center of Garfield's bedroom was twisting, nodding mass of bodies writhing in sweaty sex. Time to dive in Lake of Love, Garfield said as he approached mass of woman bodies, which were wet and tangled like seaweed. Sexy marble ladies separated, allowing Garfield view of the star of the show. Nebula gasped with breathing. Garfield, will you not come and enter my vortex? I have waited so long for love of man, Nebula said with longing. You got it, Puss Boots. You have felt the yin, now you will feel the yang, Garfield said with liquid sexuality. The yin-yang symbol on ground began to glow with green color of passion. Garfield then jumped into pleasure pile, ready to bring jackhammer of joy into Nebula's pleasure pit. Time to feel power of my infinity gems, Garfield said as he unhooked a golden tiger buckle on silk pants. Garfield launched his luster dragon at Nebula, who embraced it with her firm thighs. Garfield rode Nebula like a cosmic tyrannosaur, galloping fields of milky stars. He surged the force of his manliness into her body, pouring power of cosmic creation into her vessel of womanhood. To be continued. Author's note: if Marvel is reading this, please put Garfield in Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. You have permission to use my stories for inspiration. Shit. Hold on a second. I need to get a quick drink. I like that one a lot. Just in the middle of it, it just gets fucking crazy. My favorite was still the Christmas one, but I had to do that one another time. I've never read this one coming up. I hope it doesn't get too saucy. I need to clear my throat. Hold on 1 second. Ooh, sorry about that. I've been a little, whatever lately. Anyway, how long is this one? I don't think it's that. Oh, it's a little long, but you know what? It's fine. I took a nap earlier today, and I've been really wanting to read this one, but Flappy's never read the other one, and I was like, I love that one. I read it like 3 times at least, just kind of for fun. Whew, all right. So, Garfield, which it's a Garfield Joker parody. Joaquin Phoenix was in his Hollywood actor mansion, reading script for Joker. He was getting ready to finish his latest scene and needed to memorize all the lines. Still, he thought of what parts and wonders he would weave with his needles of acting next. He decided to look through more scripts for next project. What voice do I want to... The dancing men who sing in my head demand I look for more roles, said Joaquin Phoenix as he gripped scripts. He looked in mirror and screamed for 3 minutes. When his morning scream was over, he shoveled through more scripts like snowplow and garbage dump. He flung trash scripts around room like hyena gone to insanity. Then his finger felt sensation. It was full of manliness and vigor. He felt strength fill his arm, yet it burned flesh like fire. He picked up script that shocked him with jolts of wisdom. It shined like newborn sun. It smelled like first rose of June. It felt like cooked eel. He looked upon the script of majesty and saw in writing that was majestic like royalty, yet rugged like a rock farmer. It read, Garfield. He opened script and words poured into eyeballs like liquid wine. It was a story like no other, filled with adventure and of untold might, sexy ladies, and lasagna of beauty. He knew what he needed. He needed to play a role none other played. He had to play Garfield. Joaquin Phoenix then went to Upside Down Room where he hung on bars and recited his name backwards. Afterwards, he grabbed the phone and called Agent. Listen here, you. The Song of Silence was sung to me this day and told me the role I needed, Joaquin Phoenix sang with Angel's voice. Yes, Mr. Joaquin Phoenix, that makes sense, said the agent with agreement. I am to be Garfield, screamed Joaquin Phoenix with a shrill scream. What? You are gone to Crazy Town, cried the agent with panic. This world is built on pillars of madness. I am only sane man left, Joaquin Phoenix said in serious tones. Listen to my voice and hear its words. That script is for no man. Forget it. Forget Garfield, said Agent with warning. But I cannot forget. His image seared an eye of my mind. It bleeds for what I am not. Joaquin Phoenix screamed with agony as he clutched head and scratched eyes. Stop this. The road is to madness and death. Focus on Joker. It will be good movie that makes money and gets good reviews, advised Agent with wisdom. To Garfield, Joker is duck trapped in mud who quacks, but the quacks are not heard even by the trees, Joaquin Phoenix said with sorrow. There is only one Garfield. Leave these thoughts in trash and be done with it, cautioned the agent. Joaquin Phoenix hung up and then stewed in regrets like turkey in gravy. Joaquin Phoenix went to his bedroom. Each wall was a giant picture of different stage of life cycle of butterfly. Joaquin Phoenix stared at the wall that was a larva and touched the picture with failing fingertips. He then wrapped himself in cocoon sheets and slept into slumber dreams. There he dreamt what he could want but not be. Clouds shaped like the man, formed with orange fire, and pleasure ladies, while Joaquin Phoenix could only watch in envy despair. Joaquin Phoenix woke and looked up at the ceiling, which was Funhouse mirror. He went to his dream journal under the last entry, which said, If all light comes from orbs behind our eyes, then what is the sun? And wrote, My tongue is beast that tastes fire and lasagna. Joaquin Phoenix then did morning routine of putting on Depeche Mode, Dr. Strangelove at max volume and singing along for an hour. He then got dressed and went to set for acting. He went to set to meet castmates. Joaquin Phoenix was talking to sexy co-star and hot, sexy script girl. He puffed his chest and imagined what Garfield would say in the moment. Hey there. Hey there, sexy. Hey there, sassy babies. You get my gears oiled up, said Joaquin Phoenix with clumsy flirt failure. Oh, you are pig, said sexy co-star with shunning. Yeah, what loser, man. Go back to first grade, said hot and sexy script girl with mockery. Then, in suddenness of a dove flying from east in the morning light with a revving engine was heard. Riding like the man was an orange figure of radiant masculinity, riding a custom Harley Davidson motorcycle and smoking lasagna cigarette. I heard there was casting call, and that there were ladies that needed to get their roles filled, said the orange figure of Olympian manhood. Garfield! Cried the ladies and Joaquin Phoenix in unison. That's right, Hot Pockets. I'm here to make you scream your lines and direct you in ways you've never felt, said Garfield with smooth seduction. Oh, Garfield, said Oh, Garfield, said the sexy co-star with swooning. You are Man Mountain. I want to climb, but dare not try, said the hot and sexy script girl with wanting worry. I am Sherpa of love. I will guide your lips and hips to where they are needing to be, Garfield said, snapping his fingers with manpower. At Garfield's snapping command, fine ladies undressed, tearing off clothes in passion of moments. Garfield then snapped his fingers again, and stagehands brought out king-size bed for the man. I need a drink a second, hold on. Ooh, pardon me. Garfield, here is our best bed. Please enjoy it and pleasure ladies with it, said the stagehands with humbleness. I break this bed before night is through. No bed can handle power of my thrust, said Garfield with fact. The ladies went to bed and lied down in poses of seduction, glistening with nakedness. They licked their lips like hungry pussycats. Okay, kitty cats, I see your lady holes are deserts. I will flood them with liquid love and turn them into oceans, Garfield said with flirtations as he hopped off motorcycle. What's Joaquin Phoenix doing during this? Garfield went to bed and leaped on ladies like grasshopper on fresh meat. He licked supple bodies with serpent tongue, pleasuring their outsides and inside. Ladies moaned with pleasure as he tasted their insides. Time to explode you inside out. I carry TNT in my pants and my fuse is readying to go, Garfield said with coy coolness. Explode us, Garfield! Explode us with your man bomb! The ladies cried in unison. Garfield unbuckled his stylish blue jeans and tossed them to the floor. He launched his orange javelin at the ladies, scoring a bonanza. The director then walked in and saw the lovemakings. This is work of art. I will film this and show to world and win Oscars, said the director with excitement as he took out big film camera and started recording. Action, 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 cried out the director with furious joy as he watched Garfield through lens pleasure, ladies with power of bulldozer and expertise of sculptor. Joaquin Phoenix watched on as well with awe, impressment, and terror. He scratched at eyes and rolled around on ground, grabbing mud and smothering himself with it. He screamed and squealed as he heard Garfield's lady pleasuring. He stood and staggered out like drunk rodents, squeaking in terror. No one cared. Joaquin Phoenix ran into a street that was empty. He ran about and around in search for something which he knew not. His mind was filled with painful confusion. Then finally he found open store, 24/7 convenience store with selling intent. Joaquin Phoenix calmed himself with breaths and entered store. Aisles upon rows were filled with items for selling, but none sold power to erase memories. He walked down aisles to a counter where a cute girl of beauty sat. She had curly blonde hair and her name was Rosie Jane. Hello, Rosie Jane. You are looking mighty fine beautiful today, said Joaquin Phoenix with compliments. Oh, whatever, said Rose Jane with dismissal. Perhaps you would care to give me a pack of cigarettes and a date? Joaquin Phoenix, words filled with nerves. Oh, whatever, said Rosie Jane, throwing a pack of cigarettes at him. Then, with suddenness of iceberg at equator, there was sound of rocking music. Outside was Garfield in red Corvette, rocking out to Big City Nights by Scorpions. He was wearing aviator shades. He stepped off custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle and marched into store. He walked down frozen food section and ice cream melted in presence of his manly aura. He went to counter like a man who knew counters his whole life and did not care. He leaned on counter with cool elbow and gave Rosie Jane wink and nod. Hey there, bunny slippers. I want to slide you on, said Garfield with flirting. Rosie Jane blushed, with cheeks and fawned at massive molecule of manhood that rippled in front of her eyes like lake of fire. Are you the Garfield? Rosie Jane asked with swooning. You know it, Tootsie Pops. I got friend in my pants and he needs mouth to mouth, said Garfield slyly as he unzipped black silk shimmering pants. Garfield, a friend of yours is friend of mine, said Rosie Jane with man-hungry smile. First thing is first, get me lasagna, demanded Garfield with righteousness. Rose Jane nodded and ran to lasagna section. When she returned, she brought with her a wagon of lasagna. Now spread lasagna on counter, commanded Garfield with orders. Rosie Jane obeyed and spread slimy blobs of lasagna on counter. Soon, counter was covered with sweet stench of lasagna. Joaquin Phoenix's nose and lips were wet with hunger at lasagna that he could never have. That is more like it, said Garfield with satisfaction. Now get naked and dance on lasagna, Garfield said with chill smile. Rosie Jane obeyed and took off clothes, revealed hot, tight body like Mako shark. She rolled around sexily on counter like sexy crocodile, pulling down antelope and tearing it apart in lasagna swamp. Yeah, baby, that's what I am liking, said Garfield as he puffed lasagna cigarette. My desired dragon is hungry, and you are next course, said Garfield with romance. Eat me alive, Garfield. Pour love over me and lick me, said Rosie Jane with loving. Garfield jumped on Rosie Jane like flea on dog and squeezed firm body with grabbing hands. They rolled about, swishing and swooning on soft red lasagna, covering each other with slimy red goodness. Their bodies were damp like frogs covered in fresh blood. Soft squishing sounds came from them as they mushed bodies together with lovings. There you go. Joaquin Phoenix stared at sight of majesty and wept. He put hands to face and wept like man who knew nothing but tears. He wept more than he screamed, and then he laughed. He wept more, and then he screamed, and then he laughed. He covered eyes with hands, but through hands he still saw Garfield love Rosie Jane like volcano loves the earth. Joaquin Phoenix crawled away in desperation like slug. He crawled into toothbrush aisle where toothbrush and toothpaste were and took big fat tube of toothpaste. He squirted toothpaste on floor in shape of woman. He then collapsed on toothpaste woman, wriggling and wraggling, trying to make love to toothpaste woman, but not able. For toothpaste woman was not woman at all, but just toothpaste. He cried again, licking the toothpaste, and then crawled out of store. Joaquin Phoenix crawled to his Hollywood home, squealing like weasel, crawling on broken glass. He came to door and entered. He crawled to couch and flopped on like fish in ocean of dust. He wanted to forget all. He turned on TV for nighttime entertainment. A television, my friend, grant me freedom. Do not betray me like all other things. Joaquin Phoenix cried with whimper. Joaquin Phoenix turned on his window into the world of visual entertainment. Television flickered on, and TV host in suit bellowed with deep voice. Hello all there out in TV land. Welcome to Hot Ladies Heavy Metal Lasagna, America's most favorite game show. Here we have our contestants, said TV host with voice of siren. I wonder who's going to be on this. He pointed to hundreds of hot, sexy ladies who all introduced themselves and their life's ambitions, such as eating lasagna and finding right good man to pleasure them. Joaquin Phoenix did not like this show, Hot Ladies Heavy Metal and Lasagna, very much. He preferred awkward girls drink soup to Genesis. Fucking. And now, of course, our one and only judge, the man himself, Garfield, screamed TV host with ecstatic excitement. He pointed to a radiant figure who sat on throne of silk and steel with legs crossed without effort. The figure drank brandy from wine glass and smoked lasagna cigarette. He wore suede vest and gator skin pants. He winked at camera with coolness that froze space. First prize is, of course, Night with Garfield that would change womanhood forever. Said TV host with information as his face went red with excitement. Now, begin the eating! Shrieked TV host as his face dripped with sweat and eyes bulged from intensity. Ugh, can't read. The ladies then began to eat lasagna with sensuality, licking lips and smothering bodies with steaming red sauce. Ladies were judged on quickness, sexiness, and expression on face and firmness of body. Garfield sat back and enjoyed show, sipping brandy and nodding with approval as hundreds of sexy ladies ate lasagna for his pleasure. As sexy ladies ate their lasagna, camera zoomed in, rockin' heavy metal played with shredding guitars and rockin' vocals. Scorpions and Dio played as hot visions of womanhood feasted on lasagna nutrition. Camera zoomed on mouths filled with red, wet lasagna for sexy effects. Sauce and cheese dripped down lips, turning on everyone's engines. Some ladies began dancing around guitar and drum set. Garfield smirked with approving. Now it is time to select winner, declared TV host. Camera zoomed in on Garfield's chiseled face. His eyes were cold with thought like frozen lakes. His lips opened and mouth moved. I think I am winner, and when I win, all the ladies win. Come on, my chicken patties, follow me to bedroom playpen, said Garfield with decree. I wonder if that's how every episode ends. Just like, I win, so everyone's fucking. But all ladies applauded that wise decision. TV host nearly fainted at fairness of Garfield's decree. Army of scantily clad ladies followed Garfield up a red carpeted staircase to his bedroom, and cameras follow ready to capture all the action for world to see. Golden doors opened, and the man entered the bedroom. His floor was covered with bear and tiger carpets, encaged in eternal struggle, and walls and ceilings were mirrors. Time give you ladies first prize. It is gift that keeps on giving, the undying flame of my manhood, Garfield said as he unzipped the leopard pants to unseal the beast that never sleeps. Garfield jumped into Lady Pile and thrust his pleasure pike into yawning mouths and women craters, making them scream with glee. Garfield and ladies became one, molding into mass of liquid love and fleshy meat. Time to spice it up, Garfield said as he pulled hidden rope. At rope pulling, hidden buckets spilled lasagna into Love Fest, making hot, sweaty mess of red. Figures caked in lasagna like flame shadows danced and writhed into each other, squishing and squashing and making hot, sexy love. Reflections on mirrors distorted and made illusions of prismatic glory. And scene was too much for Joaquin Phoenix's mad mind to take. No more! Cried out Joaquin Phoenix as he tried to turn off TV with remote, but TV would not answer his cries, and its screen was wide with smile as it laughed with silent mockery. The moans of Garfield's explosion of erotic ecstasy echoed from TV like squeals of ghost pigs rolling in mud in midnight hour. Joaquin Phoenix took TV in fit of rage and tossed it against the wall, but he still saw images of Garfield making sexy, sweet sweat love to ladies while covered in wet blanket of lasagna. He collapsed on floor and crawled into bed, hoping he would escape waking nightmare and slumber dreams. Joaquin Phoenix fell into sleep and darkness swam through mind. He descended an endless abyss, still lying on bed but surrounded by quickening darkness. Black curtains parted and sea of red spread out into endlessness. He floated bed on Red Sea and churned like witch pot. Joaquin Phoenix saw great monster fish emerge from red depths with heads shaped like his fears and body made of his regrets. It opened mouth and each tooth was a lost love. Sea monster crashed into bed, sending Joaquin Phoenix into a waiting ocean. Joaquin Phoenix flailed in red liquid like a guppy in bubble, and formless arm pulled him under into red depths. Unseen arm pulled down and down until ocean was gone and he was in room. A white room, splattered with red, and bodies were scattered like beached seals. He looked over bodies, but faces were blank except one. Body that was laying with arms and legs spread like starfish. Face stared up, eyes wide open in revelation. Its face was frozen in smile, and the face was familiar. It was his face. He then felt feeling in his hand. He realized in right hand he gripped a desert eagle. He looked at wall in front of him and saw it was mirror. In mirror, a manly orange face stared back at him with eyes of stoic lasagna. He screamed and walls blew away and floor sank into nothingness, and Joaquin Phoenix was standing in desert of red. Sand of ruby diamonds sparkled under feet. Rain by The Cult started playing, music rocking from black desert sky. He stumbled forward into red wasteland, sand blistering feet like newly cooked lasagna. He stumbled in endless desert, throat screaming for drink and stomach begging for food, but it was hunger and heart and thirst of soul that carried him on. Dunes shifted like sails, and sand moved like living blood. Time froze and sped. Days melted into seconds and minutes, 8 hours. Finally, in distance, Joaquin Phoenix saw a spike like triangle stick from desert sand. He went to Spike and saw it was Grand Pyramid that stabbed sky until it begged. Entrance opened in front with black shadows calling for entrance to those who dared. Joaquin Phoenix staggered into entrance, feeling coolness of breeze pinch face like ice crab. Halls stretched forward into unseeing blackness. Torches flickered like baby fireflies with guiding intent. Joaquin Phoenix followed path of flickering torches and came to great chamber with paintings on walls. Paintings of Garfield and scenes of heroism. One painting was of Garfield battling mechanical menace and deepness of space. Other painting was of Garfield saving lovely princesses from evil princes. Another painting showed Garfield saving Christmas from forces of darkness, and others showed Garfield delivering justice to Nazis and redcoats in name of America. Whoa, what's that? This is like some like fourth wall breaking shit almost. At center of chamber was great sarcophagus shaped like manly figure with chiseled muscles. Sarcophagus then opened and light streamed out like a diamond river. Room spiraled around and Joaquin Phoenix fell to ground like a bowling pin. He looked up and saw sarcophagus glow like scarlet sun. Tongues of flame licked out with hunger out of mighty sarcophagus, and glow of warmth kissed face like a lost sweetheart. Joaquin Phoenix walked to sarcophagus with trance steps and stood opening. Inside was world of cleansing flame. It was fire that ended and gave. It was fire that ended and gave life. It was fire of Phoenix. I am Phoenix, and I will be reborn. Joaquin Phoenix said with heart-heavy mind as he leapt into flaming fire. Whew. Joaquin Phoenix opened eyes and stared at funhouse mirror at ceiling, but reflection was straight and pristine like Badger, fresh from morning breakfast. His bed was swamp of cold sweat, but his heart was dry with purpose. He stood up with bare feet and marched to bathroom made of marble. In bathroom, he stared at mirror and scoffed with mockery at face that stared back. He clenched fist and smashed it into mirror, shattering into shards that soared to ground like crystal birds. He took one large shard with clenched fist, blood dripping from palm. He stared into cracked remains of mirror and took shard to face and slashed at it with determination and ferocity. He slashed his feeble face until he saw in mirror resemblance to chiseled face of masculine perfection that was Garfield. He then took off cotton shirt that was wet with sweat and dirty with guilt to reveal pathetic, flabby stomach. Joaquin Phoenix scowled with scorn and took glass in hand. He slashed that stomach in pattern to imitate Garfield's stone-cold six-pack. Joaquin Phoenix then took a can of orange paint hidden under sink and dumped it on bleeding body. He smeared orange paint all over, mixing with fresh and drying blood. He put finger covered in paint and blood in mouth and sucked like baby seal on pacifier of ice. He flexed an admired body, dripping in orange and red. He then heard phone ring from bedroom and returned drops of red and orange following footsteps. He picked up phone with sternness. All fear was gone and dead to dust. Joaquin Phoenix, this is your agent. You must go to Jimmy Kimmel, Funny Man TV show host, for interview, said agent with demands. Joaquin Phoenix is dead. Garfield killed him, Joaquin Phoenix said with coldness. He then smashed phone on table with a mighty crunch. Time to put Kimmel in kennel, Joaquin Phoenix quipped with slyness. Oh, hey, how's it going? I will do a hydrate. I'll hydrate with water. Excuse me. I thought I got rid of that. Ooh, thank you. Okay, where was I? I appreciate it, thank you. Time to put Kimmel in kennel, Joaquin Phoenix quipped with slyness. He went to bedroom and reached under bed to take out case. In case was special cap gun of gleaming silver. My trusty desert eagle, you never failed me. Let us cook some Kimmel to feed to dogs in hell, Joaquin Phoenix said with menace. Joaquin Phoenix drove to Kimmel Studios an orange Corolla that needed gas. He parked front and walked in with determined feet. In studio was Jimmy Kimmel by desk sitting on chair, and studio audience sitting in audience chairs for viewing pleasure. In audience was sweaty fat man who tired of the weight and felt world's burdens on his shoulders as he watched the funny man Kimmel's stupid face. The audience gasped with shock as Joaquin Phoenix stumbled in like drunk bumbler, droplets of drying blood and orange paint sputtering to floor in crusty glorps. He wore brown cotton pants with turtle shell codpiece. Other guests sitting on couch were Margot Robbie, celebrity, Scarlett Johansson, celebrity, and Jennifer Lawrence, celebrity. They sat wearing sexy dresses and everyone enjoyed. Joaquin Phoenix strode like a loping leper to couch with eyes like frozen steel and sat nearest to Jimmy Kimmel, who put on his funny man face. The sweaty fat man in back row was filled with confusion. His stomach roiled with contempt, and sweaty fat face twisted in scowl. You're looking unusual today, Joaquin Phoenix. Did you cut yourself while checking oven? Joked Jimmy Kimmel with a joke that could only make idiot or madman laugh. Audience sat in silence, and sweaty fat man bit lip in disgust. Joaquin Phoenix is dead. I killed him, for I am mighty Garfield, said Joaquin Phoenix as he stabbed into Jimmy Kimmel's empty eyes like spear. Jimmy Kimmel looked at the audience with uncomfortable eyes and laughed with fakery. Oh, you are the kidder. If you're Garfield, I am handsome roast beef, said Jimmy Kimmel with funny man words. Ladies on couch chuckled, but Joaquin Phoenix sat like Sphinx, silent and proud. Finally, after eons that felt like days, Joaquin Phoenix's lips moved like wet worms and words oozed out like pus. You speak language of fools, understood by kings and jackals, Joaquin Phoenix said with vile. Jimmy Kimmel shook head with confusion and grinned stupid grim. He made funny noises, an effort to make humor. A king is a jackal with a man's head. Jimmy Kimmel said nothing, but put on a funny face to try to lighten the mood. He stuck out tongue and pouted cheeks. The sweaty fat man looked on in disgruntled rage. The sweaty drops poured out of face. Joaquin Phoenix looked to audience and saw the sweaty fat man. Their eyes locked like lasers, and Joaquin Phoenix stared into fat, sweaty drops that poured from the sweaty fat man like waterfall. He saw that each sweaty drop contained a universe of its own, and saw in each universe a trillion souls screamed. Who is this? Joaquin Phoenix turned back to Jimmy Kimmel and saw his head was now Pig's head. The pig's-headed man laughed with lusty squeals, and Lobster crawled out of snout and jumped into a pot of boiling water that sat on floor by his feet. Joaquin Phoenix then turned to celebrity ladies who sat next to him. He saw they were 3 heads attached to one body, and heads talked and laughed. Their necks were tentacles that coiled and wrapped in an embrace, scaly skin rubbing against one another and making scraping noises. Oh, this is weird. Hold on, I'm kind of curious. Oh, it's near. Enough! Cried out Joaquin Phoenix in angry rage. I will take sexy ladies with me. We will make hardstyle love-making. What nonsense are you speaking? Asked Jenny Kimmel with shock. Joaquin Phoenix saw that his pig head was now split open down center, and Mantis sat on top of picking at and eating brain with sickles, but he still laughed and squealed. I am taking ladies. We will eat lasagna and make lovings like powerful titans, Joaquin Phoenix said with determination. He saw the Scarlett Johansson head and Jennifer Lawrence head sharing luscious green apple in their jaws, chomping and chewing and licking, their tongues wrapped around apple and each other. The Margot Robbie head laid on satin pillow, dreaming nightmares that he could not stop seeing. Joaquin Phoenix pulled out cap gun and pointed it at Jimmy Kimmel. Do not interfere with my plans, Joaquin Phoenix screeched like unwise owl. He snatched the lady creature by the arm and dragged it with him to Orange Corolla. Lady heads hissed and laughed as they were dragged into Corolla. I will show you majesty of my love palace, Joaquin Phoenix said with hysteria. Sexy lady beasts screeched and hissed with sultry sexuality. Joaquin Phoenix thrust key with power into car and commanded it into action. It did not move, but Joaquin Phoenix heard voice purr from engine. Joaquin Phoenix, where would you like to be going? I would recommend the beach, said the orange Corolla in gentle purring voice like a kitten massaged by feather. No, go home, squealed Joaquin Phoenix like a spoiled puppy. I think we should go to the beach, insisted the orange Corolla with voice like velvet sword. Yes, let us go to the beach, chimed in Jennifer Lawrence, Margot Robbie, and Scarlett Johansson heads in unison. Their heads switched. No, go to home, commanded Joaquin Phoenix with tantrum. You will regret this decision, said Orange Corolla with sadness. Orange Corolla drove them through city that seemed to melt and burn. Sky was black with fire that made Joaquin Phoenix sweat like schoolboy locked in coffin. His car purred and moaned like a cat in love. Finally, they reached house, which now looked like 40 stories tall and was grand palace fit for real man. Joaquin Phoenix stepped with feet and moved like a man who walked like professional. He took ladies into grand palace filled with golden lasagna. Halls twisted and turned, and ceilings were high as sky. Rivers of lasagna flowed through halls, and lasagna waterfalls fell from gilded walls. Joaquin Phoenix led Lady Beast into main hall, chest puffed and head high like a kite. At center of main room was a massive bed shaped like a male symbol, and at the head of bed on marble pedestal was a great statue of the man Garfield in post of manly splendor, fist clenched, justice oozing through fingers like sea slug. Joaquin Phoenix's eyes teared at sight of manly statue, and he knelt on one knee. I am you. I am Garfield, he cried to heavens with voice trembling with ghosts of dying hope. Then, suddenly, statue trembled and shook. It cracked and crumbled, and gray shattered to reveal manly orange. Garfield flexed mighty muscles and statue bits and exploded off like stars bursting from planets. Garfield stepped off pedestal and went on floor. Joaquin Phoenix looked up in awe. He saw that his palace was no longer a palace of golden lasagna, but again filthy home of viceful deceit. He saw that three-headed lady monster was now again sexy actress of beauty who looked with eyes like lustful saucers at Garfield, and bed of manly majesty was again barren mattress stained with regret. But I am you. I am Garfield, Joaquin Phoenix cried with disbelief. Garfield shook mighty head that was like sun's shaking moon. But I did all. I have ladies and lasagna. Look at my majesty, yelped Joaquin Phoenix with pathetic. Garfield's eyes burned with glow of manly knowledge as he shook mighty head again. Hold on a second. I need to be. The measure of man is not ladies he loves or lasagna he eats, but justice he dispenses. Remember this as your soul explodes to hell, Garfield said, with wisdom greater than all scholars. I see now, Joaquin Phoenix said with eyes filled with tears that cried tears of their own. Garfield stared in Joaquin Phoenix's watery eyes, and his eyes burned with fire hotter than lasagna sun. The eye fire seared into Joaquin Phoenix's soul, and it exploded like Thanksgiving Day fireworks. The last thing Joaquin Phoenix's eyes saw was Garfield making love like tractor trailer to hot, sexy actresses on his bed. He saw Garfield drive his man might into waiting ladies like a golf cart being driven into sand, with roughness and with sensual sexuality. Joaquin Phoenix saw Garfield pleasure ladies, and he smiled and gave thumbs up as his soul exploded into fiery oblivion. The end? Author's note. If Joaquin Phoenix is reading this and wants to make a movie out of my story, that would be okay. Author's note 2. If Jennifer Lawrence, Margot Robbie, and Scarlett Johansson are reading this and would like to date me, that would be okay. Author's note 3. If Jimmy Kimmel is reading this and would like to invite me on his show, that would be okay. and that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry that the games decided to kind of fail, but I mean, fanfic readings are fun. Let's see, I don't know who's streaming right now. You know what? I'm going to raid Josephine Hazard. Did I spell that right? Nope, I did not. That's in. Okay, they have a follower. Yep, that's fine. All right. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Thanks again, and have a nice night.